Government gives special permission to export 3 chicken commodities. And congestions at LRT stations. Peak time rail frequency set at 3 minutes. Good morning. The government has agreed to grant special permission for the export of 3 chicken commodities effective immediately. The 3 commodities are coloured broilers, including kampung and black chicken, all chicken-based products, and day-old chicks DOC parent stock. In a statement on Wednesday, the Agriculture and Food Industries Ministry, MAFI, said the special permission was granted after holding in-depth discussions with industry players and poultry associations on the matter. The ministry also said the consignment of the commodities must be handled appropriately by the permit owner. However, the export ban for commercial broilers, round chicken, chicken cuts, and DOC would remain in effect. The ban was imposed from June 1st in line with the Cabinet's May 23rd decision to ensure the country's continuous chicken supply and food security. MAFI added that the Malaysian Quarantine and Inspection Services Department, MAQIS, also had halted the export of live chickens, round chicken carcass, chicken meat cuts, and chicken-based food products. Continuous monitoring was also in place at the country's exit points by MAQIS enforcement officers. The ministry stressed that action will be taken under the Malaysian Quarantine and Inspection Services Act if there is a breach of the special permission. If found guilty, one is liable to a maximum fine of 100,000 ringgit or imprisonment up to 6 years or both. For the second or consequent offences, there will be a fine of not more than 150,000 ringgit or jail of not more than 7 years or both. Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob on Wednesday congratulated Tengku Permaisuri of Selangor, Tengku Permaisuri Nur Ashikin, on the proclamation as the new University Technology Mara UiTM Pro-Chancellor. The Prime Minister said that the proclamation will open a new chapter for UiTM to become the country's best higher education institution. On Tuesday, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah, who is UiTM Chancellor, consented to the proclamation of Tengku Permaisuri Nur Ashikin as the new UiTM Pro-Chancellor. The proclamation for the period from October 18, 2021 to October 17, 2024 was held in conjunction with the university's 93rd convocation ceremony. RapidKL on Wednesday said peak time frequency for rail services involving the Ampang and Sri Petaling lines is set at 3-minute intervals for central business district stops. It also said it would have a 6-minute interval for non-central business district stops on both lines. According to RapidKL, the frequency for the Klanajaya route was updated to 5 minutes during peak hours, starting from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. It added that there would be a 10-minute interval for the monorail line and a 6-minute wait for the Kajang route. Earlier, passengers took to social media to lament the congestion at the light rail transit LRT stations. On Twitter, they claimed the 5-minute frequency and broken escalators had contributed to the problem. One of the passengers said the slow train interval had caused the congestion, as passengers had to crowd the Pasar Seni station while waiting for the next train. In response to this, RapidKL issued an apology and had informed the authorities about improving crowd control at the station. The divisions of Kuching, Serian, Sri Aman, Miri and Limbang in Sarawak have been declared as foot and mouth disease FMD control areas to prevent it from entering the state. These divisions are bordering West and North Kalimantan of Indonesia, where active outbreaks of the disease are occurring in their cattle, buffalo, goat and sheep populations. Sarawak Minister for Modernisation of Agriculture and Regional Development, Datuk Seri Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom, in a statement on Wednesday, said the declaration was made in order for the state's Department of Veterinary to impose and take all the necessary control measures to prevent the introduction of FMD into Sarawak. He added that the control measures being instituted include import ban on livestock and livestock products from Indonesia, monitoring and surveillance of livestock in the high-risk areas, and conduct veterinary inspections at the entry points into Sarawak. FMD is an acute and highly contagious viral infection of both domestic and wild cloven-hoofed animals, and these include cattle, buffalo, domesticated deer, goat, sheep, pigs, as well as wild boar and deer. The disease spreads from animal to animal via aerosols, nasal discharges, and also from contaminated feeds, beddings, and other fomites. However, FMD is not a zoonotic disease and it is not a public health concern, such as the hand, foot and mouth disease, HFMD, that affects young children, which is caused by a different virus. TV3 is the top choice for news consumption in Malaysia, according to a survey commissioned by the Reuters Institute for the Study of Journalism. In its 2022 digital news report, TV3 News was ranked number 1 by 53% of survey respondents for weekly usage in the television, radio and print category. Also in the top 5 were its sister publications, Harian Metro in 3rd place with 29%, followed by Berita Harian in 4th place with 28%, while News Straits Times was in the 10th spot with 16%. Sister channels TV9, 8TV and NTV7 were ranked 8th, 11th and 12th respectively. According to the survey, online news and social media remain the main sources of news in Malaysia, while print continues its downward spiral from 45% in 2017 to 17% this year. Demand for used and recon cars in the country is expected to increase further this year. According to RAM Ratings, the segment benefited by the higher price and late delivery for new cars due to the shortage of components and chip supplies.
The pandemic also benefited the second-hand car market as many commuters avoided public transportation. The long waiting list for new cars have also benefited the secondary and reconditioned car markets for consumers that are unwilling to wait.
It was reported that Malaysian Automotive Association, MAA, also expected the price of new vehicles to increase between 8 and 20% due to high production costs. Currently, industry players are facing delivery arrears of up to 6 months. Meanwhile, the total industry volume is projected at 600,000 units this year. However, this figure is expected to rise to 630,000 units if the government extends the SST exemption incentive until year-end. Indonesian president consolidates power with cabinet reshuffle. News from the foreign front when we return. Foreign front. Thailand's Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha is facing a no-confidence vote in Parliament, with the opposition set to grill his government on a range of issues, including economic mismanagement. The opposition parties submitted the no-confidence motion to House Speaker Chuan Lik Pai on Wednesday, which also targets 10 senior members of Chan-o-cha's cabinet. The opposition attempt to vote out the Prime Minister, which is the fourth since the elections in 2019, comes amid wrangling among the coalition parties and a steady decline in the Premier's popularity, highlighted by last month's Bangkok governor elections that saw pro-government Conservative candidates defeated by a former opposition figure. However, analysts said the government's parliamentary majority of 253 seats versus the opposition's 208 makes it likely Prayuth will prevail. The opposition expects the censure debate to take place next month before voting on the motion. Indonesian President Joko Widodo has announced a cabinet reshuffle on Wednesday, replacing key economic ministers amid a national cooking oil shortage and rising food prices. Jokowi's third cabinet reshuffle since 2019 saw two new ministers, with Zulkifli Hasan appointed as Minister of Trade and Hadi Jajanto as Minister of Agrarian Affairs and Spatial Planning. Jokowi said that the new ministers have been appointed based on their capabilities. He added that he had considered Zulkifli's experience and track record before he was appointed, adding that food affairs related to the people require field experience, field work that is directly involved and related, especially to the needs of the people. It was understood that the Ministry of Agrarian Affairs and Spatial Planning, which oversees land reforms among other things, is separate from the Ministry of Agriculture. Jokowi stated that he has tasked Jajanto to resolve matters related to land disputes and land certificates as soon as possible. Previously, the Indonesian leader has said several times during his tenure that he wants his government to solve land ownership problems, including how people have seized land parcels illegally. Jokowi also appointed three new deputy ministers, which include Jom Wempi Watipo as Deputy Minister of Home Affairs, Afrian Shah Nur as Deputy Minister of Manpower, and Raja Juli Antoni as Deputy Minister of Agrarian Affairs and Spatial Planning. Over in the United States, two police officers and a suspect were killed after gunshots rang out in the Southern California city of El Monte. According to authorities, the officers were shot in the line of duty while responding to a report of a possible stabbing on Tuesday. The two officers who were shot then taken to the hospital where they succumbed to their injuries. It was reported that the suspect in the shooting, an unidentified man, was also killed during the exchange of gunfire. So far, it is not yet known the motive for the shooting, and the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department was probing the incident. Gun violence in the U.S. has been under scrutiny, but there is no signs of abating, even as lawmakers scramble for ways to reduce the carnage that has already claimed several thousand American lives this year. Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Bilal Shah congratulated the national football squad, Harimau Malaya, and coaching staff on their success in advancing to the Asian Cup 2023 finals. The King also expressed his gratitude and happiness over the success and fighting spirit that was displayed by the national team in the qualifying round, which ended on Tuesday. In a statement posted on Istana Negara's Facebook account on Wednesday, Al-Sultan Abdullah hoped that the achievement will be an inspiration for Harimau Malaya to work harder to achieve the best results in the 2023 Asian Cup and chart a new history at the tournament. He also thanked the supporters for the strong support given to the Harimau Malaya in their struggle to qualify for the Asian Cup finals. Malaysia ended a 42-year wait when they qualified on merit for the 2023 Asian Cup finals after they thrashed Bangladesh 4-1 in the last match of Group E of the 2023 Asian Cup qualifiers at the Bukit Jalil National Stadium on Tuesday. The last time Malaysia made an appearance in the Asian Cup finals was in the 2007 edition, when they co-hosted the tournament. But it has been more than 40 years of failing to advance to the finals on merit since the 1980 edition in Kuwait. Meanwhile, the government is considering rewarding the national football team and holding a celebration over their qualification to the 2023 Asian Cup finals. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the matter will be jointly discussed with the Youth and Sports Ministry and the Football Association of Malaysia FAM soon.
InsyaAllah saya akan bincang dengan Yang Berhormat Menteri Belia dan juga dengan FAM.
Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri told this to reporters after attending the 2022 Malaysian Youth Parliament PBM sitting in Kuala Lumpur on Wednesday. He expressed hope that the Harimau Malaya squad will now go on to perform their best and make their mark at the 2023 Asian Cup. He also hoped that the fighting spirit shown by the national team will continue to restore Malaysia's standing in international football, especially in Asia. On the PBM, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said he will propose for deputy ministers to be involved in at least one winding-up session in the next Youth Parliament sitting. The move would ensure that matters raised by the PBM members during the debate session would receive feedback and information from the relevant ministries. The Youth Parliament sitting from June 14th to 16th involves 90 delegates who will debate motions related to youth development in the country. Some football action now. The U.S. Major League Soccer. Raul Ruidiaz backed a brace to fire Seattle Sounders to a comfortable 4-0 victory over rivals Vancouver Whitecaps. Sounders took the lead after just 5 minutes when Nico Lodeiro converted a penalty after Cody Cropper brought down Freddie Montero in the penalty area. Ruidiaz doubled the lead in the 28th minute as he curled the ball home following Jimmy Medranda's knockdown, before Ruidiaz tucked home Leo Alves Chufranco's inviting cross in the 54th minute for his second of the game. Alexander Roldan rounded off Sounders' fine performance seconds before the final whistle as he beat Cropper at his near post, sealing a comfortable 4-0 win. The result moved Sounders up 4 places in the Western Conference to the last playoff spot in 7th, while the Whitecaps dropped to 11th. Still to come, man claims trial to selling porn on social media. Don't go away. Welcome back. A former Finance Ministry Deputy Secretary General told the Kuala Lumpur High Court on Wednesday that the government was still paying off a $3 billion loan taken by One Malaysia Development Berhad, OneMDB, 9 years ago. The witness in Datuk Sri Muhammad Najib Tun Razak's trial on the misappropriation of 2.3 billion ringgit in funds from OneMDB said this as the company had failed to make the loan payments as per the stipulated terms. Datuk Siti Zawiyah Muhammad Desa, who was then attached to the Loan Management, Financial Market and Actuary Division, said the loan was approved by the government via a support letter signed by Datuk Sri Najib, who was Finance Minister back in 2013. The 26th prosecution witness also confirmed that the division had not received any reports whatsoever from OneMDB on how the money was spent or used. The $3 billion was raised from bonds issued by OneMDB subsidiary, OneMDB Global Investment Limited Company, for a 50-50 joint venture between the company and Abar Investments PGS. Prior to this, the court was told that the debt should have been paid in full by 2023. Datuk Siti added she was unsure whether OneMDB had received special approval from the Finance Minister on the joint venture. She also said once the support letter was issued to OneMDB in 2013, the Finance Ministry no longer issued any guarantee documents to the company. Datuk Sri Najib is facing 4 charges of using his position to obtain bribes totaling 2.3 billion ringgit from OneMDB funds and 21 charges of money laundering involving the same amount. The trial before Judge Datuk Colin Lawrence Sekira continues on Thursday. The family of the late firefighter Muhammad Adib Muhammad Qasim has filed a notice to withdraw their appeal for committal proceedings against former Attorney General Tan Sri Tommy Thomas. Adib's father, Muhammad Qasim Abdul Hamid, who initiated the proceedings 4 years ago, said the withdrawal did not change the Shah Alam Coroner's Court findings that his son died due to a criminal act. Messrs. Muhammad Zubir Embong and Associates, the law firm representing Adib's family, said in a statement that their client had decided to end the appeal as they do not want to prolong the matter and considered the process and proceedings of contempt of court against Tan Sri Thomas and the Attorney General's chambers have been resolved. The High Court on January 28th last year cleared Tan Sri Thomas of contempt on grounds of non-disclosure of material facts by Qasim. It also ruled that the coroner had jurisdiction to hear the complaint against Tan Sri Thomas for allegedly showing disrespect for the court. Adib, who was a member of the Emergency Medical Rescue Services Unit from the Subang Jaya Fire and Rescue Station, was critically injured in a riot at the Sri Maha Mariamman Temple in UST 25 Subang Jaya on November 27, 2018. Despite showing signs of recovery, he died on December 17th that year. In Selangor, a man pleaded not guilty in the Sepang Sessions Court on Wednesday to a charge of improper use of the network facilities by selling pornographic pictures on social media. 30-year-old Muhammad Hafizul Anas Kamaruzaman claimed trial when the charge was read to him before Judge Nur Hisham Muhammad Jafar. The accused was charged with knowingly using the Twitter application to provide obscene communications for commercial purposes, in which the posting was seen on May 17, 2019 at Level 8 Menara MCMC1 in Cyberjaya. The charge, framed under the Communications and Multimedia Act, provides a maximum fine of 50,000 ringgit or imprisonment for up to a year or both if found guilty. Hafizul shall also be liable to a further fine of 1,000 ringgit for every day during which the offence is continued after conviction. The court fixed July 19th for case mention. French athlete Annelise Rousset has set a new women's record for completing the GR20 Trail in Corsica, France in 35 hours and 50 minutes. The 180-kilometer-long route, which crosses Corsica diagonally, is considered to be one of the toughest in Europe. Let's share the moment with Rousset as we wrap up Nightline this time around. And with that, I'm Liyana Hassanel. Thank you for watching and stay safe, Malaysia.